All right. Hey everybody, we are at what I think is going to be the most fun part of this project, which is attaching our city to some cardboard. So you can see for mine, I've got this ratty piece of cardboard that was just going to get tossed into recycling, but now it's going to become the backing for a sculpture. So I'm going to finish coloring this one after I've got it glued so you guys don't have to see that part. But the first thing I want to do is figure out how big the cardboard needs to be. So I tried to find a piece that was about the right size of that paper. I had to cut it down a little bit. Cutting cardboard can be pretty tricky though, so you might need an adult to help you cut a piece of cardboard. If you do need an adult's help, the best way that you can make it go fast and get the adult's help quickly is to draw the shape that you need so that then an adult can help you cut it out. All right, there's a few ways that you could attach your city to the cardboard backing. I've decided that I want to have mine stand up like this, and I'm going to make this the ground. I made this pretty deep because I know with some other boxes, I want to make a truck, I want to make a car, or maybe a taxi, so I want to have plenty of room. So I could either use some tape, I could use Scotch tape, I could use duct tape, or I could use some glue. I'm going to try using some glue for this and we'll see how that goes. So I have my glue bottle here, but again, tape would work just fine. And I'm just going to put some glue. Looks like a little bit has dried at the top here. Remember, if you get glue on your fingers, you don't have to rush to wash it off right away. If you just rub your hands together, that gets rid of the glue. There we go. Sometimes if the glue stops working, just try closing it up again. Get any glue off the top. Well, mine is still not working very well. Oh, there's a big puddle of it. Okay, so if you ever get a big puddle of glue, use the cap to help you spread it. You could probably try using a glue stick for this too. I have never tried using a glue stick when I'm using cardboard before, but you could definitely try that and see if it works. Okay, some glue along the bottom, and I'll just do a little squiggle in the middle for some good luck. And then I'm going to flip it over and stick it. Okay, right about here. All right. I'm gonna make sure when I flip it, I'm seeing that I have all this extra glue at the top here. So if that ever happens, sometimes what I will do is, I've got this extra piece of scrap paper here. I'm just gonna stick that right on the back so that the glue doesn't end up on the table. Okay? And if it shows on the front, I can always trim it later. Or maybe I'll actually kind of like that little black at the top. All right, so that looks like it's pretty well stuck on there. Now it's time for me to start adding the road. Now, a few ways that you could do this. You could leave it brown. You could color it with a marker or a crayon. I think I'm gonna use some colored paper. So I'm gonna take my colored paper here and I'm gonna line it up right at the bottom, okay? I will also be showing you how we can make the back of this stand, but first I just want to get the road done. So I'm going to be gluing this black piece of paper onto the cardboard, and this time I'm just going to put some glue right near the perimeter of the cardboard. Then I can stick this on right here. Okay, let me fold it to make sure it's in the right spot. Top a little bit, okay. While the glue is drying, you have a little bit of time to move it. It hasn't completely stuck yet. So if you need to move that paper, just do it before the glue has set or before it has dried. Just rubbing it everywhere to stick it down, okay. So now I've got the black for the road. I think I'm also gonna add some little yellow lines in there. So I'm just gonna cut the edge off of this yellow sheet of paper. If you don't have yellow, you can use a white sheet of paper. Lines on streets are often white anyway. And I could leave it straight like this. I could have it a single line, or I can trim it into some smaller rectangle shapes to make it dotted, which is how I think I want to do mine. So right down the center of my artwork, I'm going to be creating this dotted line. I've got 2 left over. All right. So I'm going to put just a little glue here and stick it. If any glue oozes out the side, I'm not too worried about it. It will dry clear. Okay. Another one here. There have been so many creative ways that I've seen people do roads already. Don't feel like this is the only way. This is just one way. Students in other classes have figured out ways to, you know, Nathan cut a hole into the cardboard and he has a track for his car to move along. Alina in another class used the Nike symbol on her shoebox to create the road for hers. So me showing you this is one way. You may come up with your own very creative and inventive way to do this, and I will probably sit here going, oh my gosh, I wish I could change mine and do it how you made yours. Now I do have a problem with this standing up. It just doesn't want to stand. So what I'm gonna do now is attach something to the back of it to make it stand like an easel. And there are a few different ways that you could do that. I have this extra piece of cardboard here that's pretty thick. I have some thinner cardboard from this Ziploc bag box that I could also use, but I'm gonna try using this. And I'm just gonna cut, you gotta have strong hands when you're cutting through cardboard. I'm gonna cut a piece of this off. Now, there are a few ways that I could do this. I could tape it to the back so it stands kind of like a letter T, and that would probably do the trick. I could also tape it like this. And that's another way that I could get it to stand. I think for me, I'm gonna try making it like a letter T on the back. And the way I'm gonna tape it on is I'm gonna flip this over. And there's so many different types of tape that you could use. I'm gonna use some Scotch tape and see how that goes. I also have some duct tape. You might have masking tape. And I'm just gonna tape it on here so that it's like a little door. Okay, so I'm taking my tape and I'm running it this direction. Okay, I'm gonna open it like a door and then I'm gonna tape the other side. Okay. 2 pieces, one at the top, one at the bottom. And I may, just to make it more supportive, take another piece of tape that runs lengthwise. Okay, all right. And I'll do another one on the other side and we'll see if this works. And you know what? If it doesn't work, we'll have to try something else. Okay. So now I flip this back over and I really kind of have to press on that crease to make it want to stay. And yep, that works just fine. Okay. So I just took a rectangular piece of cardboard on the back and now it stands up for me.